These are thoughts that came to me on December the 26th. It's about the mind. The mind is a very wonderful creation. It allows the imagination to turn a thought into a reality. That is, if you wish it to. But a thought needs a manipulator to bring about its desire of reality. And that manipulator is the brain, just waiting to spring into action when the right current of electrical impulse is generated. We are a very wonderful, complex piece of creative activity. And that creation stems from the original source of all creation. And what is known about this creative energy that is so vast that it is indescribable in human terms? An energy that can create a universe of cosmic illusion and yet can dwell upon the head of a pin. So how on earth can we ever come to terms with this unknowable source that is our very life's force in action? And yes, not just humanity's life force, but all of the living matter that surrounds our very being upon this planet that we call Earth. There is so much to wonder at that a dozen or more lifetimes would not be sufficient to encompass all of the known creations that we poor humans not only see, but sometimes take for granted. And seeing with our physical orbs of sight is only a fraction of what we really behold. And oft times we forget that inner world where sight is not seen with eyes, but with feelings that emerge from an imaginative mind that can create and, yes, even destroy, should that be the desire of the moment. We are so small and fragile, and we return to the dust of the universe that spawned us as a human entity when the bodily tissue disintegrates, when passing through death's door to a world of true reality, one that is forever, where mortality is changed into blessed immortality. We regain that spirit essence that is our heritage, the essence that allowed just a small part of itself to be manifested as a human being for just a brief spell that we call our lifetime, a time of learning, a time of getting to know just some of our capabilities, a time of coming to terms with who we think we are and where we fit into the scheme of the one we like to call the Almighty, the one who is not one, but many, just as we ourselves are. man tends to label the one who cannot be named as God, or as some would say, gods. Well, a name is just a name, but the one who is nameless can only be reached by sound, and that sound is called the silence that unites the soul with the creative soul essence that pervades not just this universe that we are part of, but all those universes that lie beyond the perimeter of our known one. Do you think that this one is the only one that you inhabit, with its cosmic energy that creates and amalgamates and alters all of the seen and unseen worlds and planets, stars and galaxies that we view with our eyes? Nay, this universe is not the only one that you are privileged to be part of, if that is what your destiny decrees. You are a part of all that has and is being created, for creation never ceases. How could it not be? For if it ceased, then perfection would have been reached, and you cannot go beyond that point. For when that point has been reached, then slumber is the next order, and when the reawakening occurs, a new cycle begins. The creative principle is forever ongoing, and illusion and reality, life and death, physical and spirit are all one to those who are the chosen creators of the one who is more than one, and yet remains the only one, the nameless one. And here we are told to venture no further down this avenue of enlightenment. This is not the time for those mysteries to be unveiled to that little one who writes. Not yet, little one, not yet. Be patient for a little while longer. And so we bid you farewell, and may the God of your faith bless you. And indeed, that is what we say to others who are party to this night's revelations. May your God, the one of your choice, bless you and keep you safe from this day forward. And we leave you with the blessings of Allah. Farewell, farewell travellers upon the pathway of life. Farewell. This one came to me on the 27th of December and is called Imagination. Come, come with me upon a journey, not of the body, not even of the spirit, but one of the mind, that part that is called the imagination, where dreams can become realities, and reality slips silently back into the realms of illusion. Are you prepared to accompany me upon this journey of the mind, yours and mine, to a far-off distant realm that we sometimes visit in our deep, deep sleep state, where reality and illusions are blurred so that they become as one to the onlooker and and participant in this dream world of reality. Close your eyes and see only the blackness of the inner consciousness of your very psyche that awaits your departure from this world of semi-reality. We move, we as it were float high above this planet known as Earth, and venture out into the vastness of space, where stars become diamonds of iridescent beauty, and the blackness turns to midnight blue, and the Milky Way is just a cascade of multicolored jewels, like the teardrops of some long forgotten deity. We sigh at the sheer beauty and would love to bathe in the rippling waves, but that is not our destination. So onwards and upwards we ascend in a spiral that gently wafts us in the voluminous vapours to a sound of distant harps and the murmur of angelic voices that seem to bid us welcome and invite us to bide a while upon this sphere of silver moonlight, where glades of weeping willows sway gently in a warm breeze, and tiny birds chase each other through the hanging branches, uttering little sounds of delight that is most pleasing to the ear. We rest a while neath the swaying branches upon a velvet, mossy ground that is soft and inviting, and we are overtaken with a feeling of sleep and gently enter the realms of oblivion, where we will be refreshed, and when we are awoken we will resume our journey once more. The time has come for us to resume our quest for the dream world, and as we depart we are joined by others who maybe are searching like us for the sphere within a sphere. As we glide along a corridor of golden clouds, we are gently ushered, as it were, into little groups of 2 or 3, by hands that are felt but not seen. We seem to be gathered in the palm of one of these invisible hands, and we feel quite safe and secure. The corridor we are in stretches further than we can see, but time is of no importance, and we are content with our situation. Gradually the light begins to alter. It takes on a glow so brilliant that it is almost as if we are nearing the very sun itself. Slowly we begin to emerge from our corridor of mental interpretation, and we find ourselves upon a vast plateau of translucent vapour that somehow seems alive, for the vapour twists and turns as if in time with hidden music that seems to come from nowhere, and yet it is everywhere. The vapour gradually disperses, and we are lost in wonderment at the vista we behold. We seem to be in a vast, vast globe-like sphere, where earth and sky meet and intermingle, so that we can't be sure if we are above or below. But no matter, it is all the same to us, strange but true. We become aware of murmuring voices in the distance, and yet they seem to be all around us. We now become even more aware of the instigators of these melodic sounds, for we see, not with eyes, but with feelings, spirit essences of such beauty. They are almost egg-shaped, and within we can feel the presence of something divine. We are, it seems, upon the soul plane, and these souls are encased in this life-giving essence. This plane then is where our very own souls reside, awaiting to reclaim all of the spirit essences or bodies that they have created, that do their bidding while learning the lessons of lives in multiplication on their journey back to their created plane, where they were first formed by the soul essence of the creative principle, their very own soul. The beauty and harmony of this plane of existence is almost beyond human description. The light, the colours, the sounds, that all blend together so that you feel you not only exist within it, but you are it. This then must be one of the heavenly mansions that we have been told about. Here, creation becomes an illusioned reality, for everything is constantly changing according to the individual soul's own perception. We are informed that this is not our final destination. We must travel on and leave behind all of those others that have been our companions, for this plane is their destination. It is their time, but not yet ours. And so we are now gently cocooned in a vapour cloud, and we begin to float up and through the dome-like sky to resume our search for our intended destination. The world where dreams become teaching realities of spiritual learning, not for the physical body, but those that dwell upon the higher spheres above and beyond the plane of earth. Though sometimes, but very rarely, a faint remembrance of where we have been and what we have done filters down to the waking physical body, and we are at a loss as to what was real and what was perhaps an illusioned dream. And then we forget all about it, and it is dismissed once again. We are now in part of the universe that is unfamiliar to us. This area is one of stupendous activity, fire and flames and molten material that have no heat, for they are beyond that. But what comes out of all of this disturbance is the primordial essence or matter that precedes the formation of life itself in its first embryonic stage. We witness creation in the making before it is called creation. We pass through this evolutionary stage as if it did not exist, and perhaps it does not, if viewed from a physical form of reasoning. In and out. And now we gaze upon a world somewhat like our own, only smaller and more compact. We spiral down towards an open plain of grass that is the colour of lavender. And as we alight, we are met by a tall, robed figure, majestic in appearance, with a face not stern, but with a hint of mysticism about it. In a voice that is just as difficult to describe, he bids us welcome, and with arms outstretched, the seams like a billowing cloak, he enfolds us as we find ourselves in the centre of a square or piazza, surrounded by buildings of dazzling white marble. There are many people moving around, deep in conversation. Our companion points to one of the buildings, and we are told this is the beginning of our short but lengthy stay. He smiles gently and is gone. Our learning dream is about to begin. We have no idea how long we have been here, or even what we have done. And yet we know we have experienced something quite unexpected, and we feel that our mission has been accomplished and very worthwhile. Is it time for us to return? The answer has already been given us, for as we look around, we are back on familiar territory. We are, in fact, home upon earth once more. Will you venture with me again sometime? Or do you think maybe you can find your way back to dreamland reality on your own, as you have done many times before, even if you cannot remember them, just like me? Perhaps we will meet there again, for it is obvious that we have known each other before this journey took place. So it now falls to me to bid you farewell for the time being. Farewell. Is not the mind and the imagination a wonderful gift we have been given? Farewell. Farewell.
So Ron, when you write these books, who do you feel your audience is, or who do you want to share them with?
Well, really, I just want anybody who is interested in the afterlife, the real life. I feel so much that the Orthodox Church doesn't tell you really about the life to come, our real life. And what I write, very often I don't understand at all until afterwards. when I read it, and it opens up something inside me which I didn't know about, and I want to share it with everybody, really.